Hey, no, thank you so much because you helped me a lot to get my score in the IELTS. So thank you, and all the best for you too.
Thank you, buddy. All right, take care. Hello there, podcast listeners. And this episode, we're going to talk to Fernando, who was working with me online a couple of months ago. Had to leave Venezuela to do his IELTS test because apparently the government's making things difficult there for the British Council with all the nationalisation and all the problems and stuff. And so, can I just get this straight, Fernando? You only had one shot at taking that IELTS test because you went from Venezuela to Canada to do
Well,
it.
yeah, I went there and I tried I tried to stay there in Canada for almost about a month because I was thinking about three possible shots to score a better note in the IELTS. I started taking the IELTS on November the 2nd, and then I was thinking about November the 22, I guess, because they give you the IELTS score in 2 weeks. So I was thinking about, okay, if I didn't get the score, so I'm going to take it again. And if I fail in this opportunity, I'm going to take it again on December, the first days on December. I don't remember. I think it was the 2nd and the 3rd, December the 3rd. So fortunately, I got the score in the first time. It was my second time because I took the IELTS here in Venezuela 2 years ago in Caracas.
Right. What did you get 2 years ago? Sorry.
Here in Caracas, I remember that I get listening 6.5 and writing 6.0, and reading I got 9.0, and in speaking I got 7.0.
Right. Okay. Well,
And right now in here in this IELTS that I took there in Montreal, I score 7 in listening. Writing I got 7.5. Speaking I got 8.5. And reading I got 7.5.
right.
So
Okay.
it was on a 7.5 overall score.
Right. Well done. Excellent score there. Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah. And what were the biggest challenges you had when you were starting with your IELTS preparation? Which part was the biggest problem for you? Was it reading, listening, or speaking, writing? Which one was
Well,
it?
I remember that when I started studying for the IELTS 2 years ago, I found it the same tricky parts to ace the IELTS. For example, I remember that I had problems in listening and writing. In reading, I found it very easy because you have a plan. You have a plan to do it. You have scheming and just taking the more important parts on all the paragraphs. And you if you practice a lot, you can get it. But in listening, you have to I think you have to create some kind of muscle there in your ears because you have to take to get used to the accent and to listen and to listen to all the voice and try to keep the line of the conversation that you're hearing. For example, a song or maybe a recording or even the news on the TV. Or I love podcasts. So I found very easy because you put a lot of podcasts, including the one that you run in the podcast, the IELTS podcast. It's a great podcast, and you can listen it a lot when you go in the bus, then at work when you're sitting writing on the computer, or here at home. You can put it when you're doing something else there. And in writing, I just remember that I have some problems because it's pretty normal because my mother tongue is Spanish and you are used to speak in a different way and write in a different way. And you sometimes you make some mistakes with the articles and the prepositions and a lot of stuff there. So I think the most problems that I had it was in writing, because you have to I think you have to beat the you have some inertia. You have some. It's pretty hard to go rolling there. So yeah. So it's
Sorry. I was going to say it's really hard to go. What there? It's really hard to go.
it's pretty hard to make the wheel to go rolling, and you have to go there. You have to go on the road, and it's pretty hard to push the car and put it on the right way with at the right speed, and it's pretty hard. It was hard for me.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
And what helped you with the motivation for the writing?
Oh yeah. I found it. I started studying for writing maybe 2 months before the IELTS. I think it was in August. Yeah, and I started with the sentence guide that you have on your page, on the web page, and it was great because you can find a lot of examples, and the motivation part, it was great because I remember that you said that there's some tips that you have to follow in order to get and to make a better preparation for the writing test in the IELTS. And I remember that you told me about five things that you have to follow. I remember the close test web page that you put some text, and you can make your own test, and you can practice prepositions and punctuation and all that stuff. And the other thing was TED.com. It's a great page. That's a great web page. You can find a lot of resources. That's TED.com.
Ah, yes, absolutely.
And I remember the most important thing that you told us, and you told me that it was you have to follow a plan and to make all the 5 things or the things that you select from the list that I recommended to all my students, in order to eliminate the debate in your mind, and to go to the test and just think that you can do it, because you did all your best to get the best score in the IELTS. So it was a great motivational part, and it helped me a lot. It helped me a lot because there in the IELTS you can find some peace, and you can I'm okay, I can do it. And I found it a bit different from the comparing to the first time that I took the IELTS.
Yeah.
Because there, you know the test, you are used to the questions, you have studied, but if you have the motivational part, you eliminate the debate, and you can get a better score there in the IELTS.
Yeah, excellent advice there. Excellent. So you used the close tests that the web page that I sent you, and did you use that a lot? And were you using it on a daily basis?
Well, I try to stick to the plan on a daily basis.
Good.
And I try to make sometimes maybe an hour with the close test. Good. And after that, maybe 1 hour or 2 with TED.com. Sometimes I make some breaks. For example, an hour, a break. I took a break, go take a glass of water or a coffee, and something else. And then go back and sit again and take another TED.com. Or maybe took some examples of better pieces of writing. For example, examples that you put on the sentence guide.
Okay, can I just interrupt there? I'm just going to share some information for the listeners, because I'll just explain it now. There's a website you can go to, and it's called if you just put into Google George's FR close and then CLOZE test, George's FR close test, and then what you can do to that in that page is copy some text from somewhere. In your case, you were doing it from TED.com. Yeah, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. That's the one.
Yeah. So you would copy the text, paste it into the closed test, and then go through and eliminate the prepositions or eliminate the articles, yeah? And you would do this like an hour a day or 1 or 2 hours a day just to get that grammar point under control, yeah? Okay, yeah. Excellent. And were you just practicing the prepositions or articles, or what were you specifically practicing?
Well, I found great troubles with prepositions and articles, so that's was the main point that I tried to practice with that thing.
Okay.
And it was great.
Yeah, and how did you get the value from the TED Talks? Were you just writing down vocabulary? Were you copying text out, pen and paper? How did you use the TED Talks?
Well, the TED Talks, I use it to write some sentences and some collocations, because I remember that in the sentence guide, when you gave me the homework to do in every day, I just remember that after the video page on the web page that you find, you can find some collocations that you selected from the video, and also you can find your own collocations there, using the same video. So it was great, because you can gain some vocabulary there, and you can learn new structures and new kinds, new ways to express your ideas on an essay.
Excellent. And were you the kind of student that had problems thinking of ideas, and the TED Talks helped there, or did it just help you more for a language point of view, the TED Talks?
I think I'm a student that have more troubles, not with ideas, but sometimes to start writing, how to create the idea, how to get the coherence with my ideas, and prepare a solid paragraph on the essay.
I see. And was that, did the sentence guide help you do that? Sort of like organize your thoughts and things?
Yeah, definitely, because with the acronym and with the sentence that you have to, it's like a format that you have, like a template that you can use. Like you can use with those sentences, and try to make coherence, make a paragraph with coherence.
Yeah.
So it helped me a lot. Because there in the test you were thinking, okay, let me think. Okay, I'm gonna use this collocation. I'm gonna use this sentence, and therefore this sentence and all the things go fluently, go steady.
Exactly. Genius. Yeah, absolutely. So true. And so in the end you got 7.5. Well done. That's a fantastic mark. So you jumped from, what did you say in the first test? It was 6.5, and then you went to 7.5.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It was 6. In writing, it was 6.0. If I remember correctly.
Okay.
6.0, and then in the latest IELTS that I took there in Montreal, I had 7.5.
Wow.
So it was a band and a half different from the first time that I took the IELTS.
Wow, fantastic. Well done. And I wanted to ask you as well about the reading, because you said that, well, can you just explain what tactics you used for the reading? Because I get emails every day asking me about tips for the reading.
Okay, with reading, I remember that when I took the IELTS for the first time, I had a teacher that told me, it was a British teacher here in Maracay near Valencia, and he told me and my brother, because we were studying there with him, he told us about using skimming and reading always have to read only the first and the second sentence and maybe the last one in each paragraph, because this way you can get an idea, in order to then at the end, when you have read have read all the paragraphs, the most important things on each paragraph, you can face the questions and you can remember all the most important things in each paragraph. And then you have an idea. You have an idea to how to face, how to ace all the sentences there.
Excellent.
So I remember skimming and reading and underlining the most important or the most remarkable sentences or the words there in the paragraph, because I think that if you can take the most important words and the most important sentences in each paragraph, you can get a better idea of this paragraph, and then you can go to the questions and you say, okay, I have an idea, and this is the question. It's easier. It's easier doing this way.
Right. Okay. So just to clarify, what you would do is, as soon as you saw the text, the reading text, go through, skim reading it, first and last sentence of each paragraph, then go to the reading questions, and then start attacking the questions, now knowing and having actively read the text before. Then you would, after reading the questions, go back and you'd know exactly, or more or less, where to find that information that it corresponds to.
That's right. Right. And giving an eye to the clock, because to the watch, because you need to prepare the whole plan for the reading text, the reading test. So you have to dedicate or make some chunks of time for each section, and you have to respect the time, because if you take more time in the first sections, then at the end you can run out of time, and you can leave a lot of questions without answer.
Yeah, absolutely. And for doing the reading test, did you buy some separate texts, or where did you find the material to practice your reading?
Well, I found material on over the internet, maybe the Cambridge books that have a lot of tests. And I remember that I found some web page. I don't remember what was the. I found free test in order to get all the reading parts of the test, and you can read and also I remember that I looking here. I bought in Canada a year ago a book named The Barons.
I see.
The Barons is a series of 3 books that you can get sample tests, and you can find there too a book with a lot of reading tests, and you can practice a lot. And so I took a lot of time of my on a daily basis in order to make maybe 1 or 2 chapters of that book. So it was a great one. Okay. Also, when you enroll the test, you get a 30. If I remember correctly, it was a 30 days free material from the British Council, and you can practice a lot there too.
I see. Good tip. That good. All right. Now, just before we finish, for the speaking, how did you practice the speaking? I guess that was a little bit easier with you being in Canada.
Well, yeah, it was not so easy actually, because there in Canada, my brother lives in a francophone province there in Quebec. So, but if you go to Montreal, you can find a lot of people speaking English there. There in Montreal, the most spoken languages are English, French, and Spanish. So it's some sort of a multicultural city, and you can find a lot of people speaking English there. Yeah. But in the speaking, I found I was a bit surprised, because the speaking part of the test was the section that I practiced the less, because I couldn't find here in Venezuela some people to practice on a daily basis. So sometimes I started to talking to myself. Maybe my relatives would think that, oh my God, Fernando, it's mine. So I try to watch TV, watch the news, and sometimes with the podcast, I just took some ways to speak or some ways to transmit ideas and try to repeat it and try to think about it and try to think why you can say this idea in this way, this particular way, and what other ways do I have to speak or to get in with the same idea to the public or to the people who I'm talking to.
Fantastic advice there. So just to recapitulate, you would hear a fragment of text, maybe from the news or from a podcast, and then try and memorize it or write that fragment down, and then basically just turn it around in your head, sort of like ask yourself how, why, when, these types of questions as to when you could use it and when it's useful.
Yeah, that's right. Because sometimes and also I think it helped me a lot. The thing that sometimes you speak on your mother tongue in some way, and you have some basics sentences or ideas. So good morning or buenos días, algo así. But it's a bit hard because you have to find the way to speak or to transmit that idea that you are used to speak or you used to talk with some people and in your mother tongue, and how you can do it in English.
Exactly.
So I think it helped me a lot because sometimes you say, okay, how can I say this thing that I say every day, or how can I speak about maybe the football or the baseball here in Venezuela, that is the national sport, with another people if I don't speak it, if I'm don't speaking in Spanish.
I see.
I think it's a good way to get used to maybe a basis to get used to how to speak in English.
Yeah, absolutely. When I was learning Spanish, I was doing exactly the same, just going to the supermarket and just trying to say, okay, then how would I ask, where is the water or whatever, and it's just getting used to, exactly like you said, just trying to transform without directly translating what you would say in your mother tongue, and just try and communicate the same without a direct translation.
Yeah, and I remember that there in the, I think it was in the British Council page or in the BBC, I just found 2 years ago, I found a video of it was like a mock interview, but it was a pretty humorous part because the guy was talking about some stuff, and they try to give you some guidelines and some tips how to or what you cannot do in the IELTS test. For example, don't get too emotional. And I remember that there in the IELTS, I was on the speaking test, and the examiner told me about, okay, let's talk about beauty.
About what?
About beauty. About beauty. See. It was in the long term. It was about the most beautiful person that I ever met, and how did you met her or met him, and I, oh my God, how can I? So I started talking about my girlfriend. So it was a bit hard because there I say, oh my God, I'm gonna get too emotional there. That's okay because I try to stick with to the questions and try to stick to the plan, and then I think I did it right. Yeah. So it was pretty fun. It was really funny because when I went out of the center, I thought, oh my God, maybe what if I get too emotional? What if I get some mistakes? Oh well, whatever.
Yeah, I've had other students tell me as well, and the confidence and just being able to sort of and not, of course, like you said, not being emotional, but also just being like a human being and having like the ability and confidence to like interact with the examiner goes a long way in helping you to increase your score. Because if you're nervous, you tighten up and it's so much more difficult to actually talk. Whereas if you're like you and like other students who've done well in the speaking, if you're a little bit more relaxed, more human, you know, and you're just taking it as it comes and trying to treat it as a normal conversation, maybe just increasing the level a little bit, then you're bound to score much higher than you would if you were just like nervous, you know. So
and I think the examiner helps you a lot with that stuff, because you can find that the questions that you get in the IELTS speaking test are from different topics. For example, we talked about the beauty, in the nature, about the beauty in people, about shoes, whatever. she told me about what's your favorite shoes, how many times you buy shoes there in your country, and what's your favorite shoes and why. So you can find a lot of topics, and I think it helps you to don't get so much straight and tighten up to the test, and you can relax and just try to answer all the questions and try to be yourself. Some people you can make some lies too. You can lie. It's not a lie. It's not a lie if you believe it. But I think it's a bit hard, because if you can believe it and it is true and it is yourself, it's your way to be. I think it's easier for you to get a high score in the IELTS section. Speaking section.
Absolutely. Alrighty then. Well, I think we'll have to draw to a close now, Fernando. Do you have any more advice that you'd like to give to the students?
Well, I think that you can, if you want to get a better score in the IELTS, if you can to move ahead and take a better score, you have to stick to a plan. You can study with I don't know. You have to study with. You got to put some order on your studying, and try to stick with maybe with a tutor on a plan to study in all the sections. You have to move ahead with all the sections. You don't need to leave behind one of the sections, because you can face some troubles on the IELTS and your score. And not taking a lot of tutors or a lot of advice on the net, because you can find a lot of advices and a lot of guidelines for the IELTS. But if you take a lot, you can get confused.
Exactly.
So I think you have to stick with a plan. Stick to a plan, and okay, let's do it this way. Let's see how can I do it with this plan.
Absolutely, good advice. Good advice, definitely. I get emails all the time saying, "Oh, this tutor said this tutor said that," you know, and this is what you get if you go in. If you've got a football coach and he tells you how to kick the ball this way, and then the next coach tells you to kick it this way. Of course, you're going to be confused. Find one, stick with them, work with them. Find one that works for you, and 10 times easier. Okay, great advice there, Fernando. Right then, we're just coming to an end now. I can see, because just for the listeners, I can see on the video that Fernando has, is it Tweak in the background from South Park?
What?
Tweak?
Yeah, it's Tweak. Tweak and Pantera.
Okay. I didn't recognize Pantera. Yeah, but I recognize Tweak, eh? Respect.
Yeah,
Respect
that's
for
Tweak,
you.
yeah.
I mean, Tweak, I feel like Tweak today, honestly, Fernando. So much coffee, my head's going to explode. But I just wanted to give, I would shake your hand, you know, respect for Tweak. Okay. Okay, buddy. Well, all the best, and I hope you do make it to Canada. Yeah, and thank you again for agreeing to do the interview. Okay.
Okay, now thank you so much because you helped me a lot to get my score in the IELTS. So thank you, and all the best for you too.
Thank you, buddy. All right, take care.
Thanks for listening to IELTSPodcast.com.